Why is ecological ecosystem health assessment often time-consuming? Have you ever wondered why assessing the health of an ecological ecosystem takes so long? It might seem straightforward, but the process is quite detailed and requires careful attention. Let's break it down. First, the assessment begins with defining the problem and setting clear goals. This involves identifying the specific ecological components, such as plants, animals, and habitats. It also means recognizing environmental stressors like pollution, habitat loss, and climate change. This initial phase needs input from decision makers, scientists, and stakeholders to ensure the assessment is relevant and thorough. Once the goals are set, the next step is analysis. This phase includes detailed exposure and effects assessments. The exposure assessment identifies which organisms are affected by each stressor and the extent of that impact. Meanwhile, the effects assessment reviews existing research on how these exposures influence ecosystem health. This step often requires extensive data gathering, which can come from various sources. Sometimes, new field studies or experiments are necessary to fill in knowledge gaps. After gathering data, risk characterization comes into play. This step compares exposure levels to expected ecological effects. It also considers uncertainties, such as natural variability and incomplete data. To accurately estimate risks to populations or communities, sophisticated statistical and ecological modeling is essential. Throughout the assessment, managing and interpreting data is critical. This process can be resource-intensive. Integrating information across different ecological scales, from individual species to entire communities and ecosystems, adds to the complexity. Additionally, ecological systems are dynamic and interconnected. Therefore, assessments must account for multiple stressors and their combined effects over time. Practical applications of these assessments are wide-ranging. They help inform environmental policies, guide restoration efforts, and manage natural resources sustainably. Since ecosystems vary greatly and are influenced by numerous factors, each assessment must be tailored to its specific context. This customization further extends the time required for a thorough evaluation. In summary, assessing ecological ecosystem health is time-consuming due to the complexity of ecosystems, the need for collaboration among experts, extensive data collection and analysis, and the careful interpretation needed to produce reliable results for environmental decision-making.